Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And today I'm using the Tarot of the Dream Enchantress. And I'm uploading this video a little bit earlier than I normally do, just because I'm going to be on vacation this weekend, and I wasn't going to be able to upload it. Okay. So I'm going to start with the first card, which represents the beginning of the week, so Monday and Tuesday. Lovely. We've got the Empress, and this is funny because we had the Empress at the beginning of the week in a previous reading. I can't remember which week it was. So we're coming into the week with the energy of the Empress, and I feel like this Empress is very different from many of the other Empresses in other decks. This Empress is super strong and powerful, and this card is all about sitting in your own power or standing in your own power. So you're coming into your power, and I feel like this card is really about setting boundaries, setting clear and firm boundaries with people. So if there's anyone in your life that you feel is kind of encroaching on your personal space, so maybe they're demanding a lot of your time that you don't want to give, or maybe someone in your workplace is criticizing you or making you feel like crap, whatever it is, there's definitely a need to set some firm boundaries. And I also get a really strong cat vibe with this card. You've got the cat that's perched on the roof here, and I'm just going to bring it closer so you can see. There's a cat there, and then there's a cat right next to what's like a stone statue of a cat right next to the Empress. And cats are really all about boundaries. Like, if you think about any cat that you know, I don't know if you have a cat of your own, but if you think about a cat or how cats are, they're very, very good at setting boundaries. Like, when a cat has had enough, when they don't want you to come near. Like, they let you know when they're pissed off. And so if you have any issues or problems around setting boundaries, or if it just makes you feel uncomfortable to set boundaries or enforce boundaries, think about how a cat would act. What would a cat do in this situation? So let that energy of the cat inspire you when it comes to setting boundaries and standing up for yourself. And I feel like the more you are clear and firm with your boundaries, the more energy you're going to have left over at the end of the day. Because when we don't set boundaries and we let other people kind of tell us how we're going to feel, or you let other people kind of push you around and manage your time and your energy, it's exhausting, and you're not going to have energy at the end of the day. So putting those firm boundaries in place is going to free up a lot of energy for you. And when you have extra energy at the end of the day, that's when you can be creative. And creativity is what the Empress is all about. She's all about being creative. And so I feel like the beginning of the week is really not just a creative time for us, but a time to set boundaries so that we can be creative and we can have that extra creative energy at our fingertips. Okay, so moving into the middle of the week, we've got 3 of Pentacles, or 3 of Coins. And 3 of Coins, actually this is a really cool card. I like the 3 of Coins in this deck. And it shows a little, he's some weird little gnomey thing that's like half kangaroo or something, and he's tattooing a fairy. And the 3 of Pentacles is all about working towards something that has meaning for you. So this is not about hard work necessarily, or just work in general, but it's about working towards something that has a really deep personal meaning for you. And it's also represents that feeling where you're totally lost in your work, where you are kind of in a zone. So I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you'll be working on a painting or a drawing or something, or even just doing a really repetitive kind of boring task, but you just get so absorbed in it and so lost in it that you don't even realize, that you're working. and it can be a really nice feeling. So this is all about choosing to do things that let you get lost in yourself. So think about all the times you felt this way in your life, whether it was doing, arts and crafts, or maybe it was through, physical movement like exercise has allowed you to feel this way. Whatever it is, try to do more of that. So try to do more things where you feel like you're just so absorbed in it and you just feel so alive and, just so lost in your work. Okay, so the end of the week. Oh, weird. We've got the High Priestess. And that's funny because I have a feeling the other reading that I did, we had the Empress at the beginning of the week and the High Priestess, because I remember thinking to myself that it's not very often that I get both the High Priestess and the Empress popping up in the same reading. And here it is again. So that's really weird. And I'm trying to remember what the middle card was in that other reading. So anyways, we've got the High Priestess for the end of the week. And the High Priestess, again, is a very powerful feminine card, just like the Empress. And these two actually have a lot in common. They're both wearing blue robes. And to me, the color blue is just very symbolic of, it's a very cool color. It's very cool, under control, but it's also a purpley blue, and purple can represent that sort of regalness and that almost like royalty. So the High Priestess is all about opening to her intuition. So being in a very feminine, receptive state, so opening to guidance. And in this particular card, she's reading a book, and it's like she's absorbing knowledge. She's very open to learning. She's learning about something, but there's also that sense that this book is not just any book. It's a very spiritual book, and there's a lot of spiritual wisdom contained within these pages. It's a very magical kind of book. And of course, with the moon in the top right-hand corner, we have that connection to moon energy. And you can tell this is at nighttime. The moonlight is illuminating the garden and the concrete stuff around her, and it just has a very kind of eerie quality. So I see this as being, this weekend is a really good time to go deep and get in touch with our intuitive side, and to allow ourselves enough stillness and enough quiet to be able to really go within and get that kind of special wisdom that only comes when we can get really still and really quiet. And I just get this real sense of stillness and quiet when I look at this card. Just with the moon and the lighting, it's a real sense of not just stillness, but sort of entering that space that's almost like entering that holy space. And it's the same feeling I get when I'm really deep in meditation. And again, I think that meditative state and the Three of Pentacles being really into your work, they're very much closely related in that respect. So it's an exciting week coming up for us. Stand in your power, set boundaries, and don't be afraid to be creative with that leftover energy that you'll have. And, get lost in your work. Again, the Three of Pentacles is about creativity and being able to truly get lost in your work. And the High Priestess is about entering that spiritual dimension, that sacred kind of holy dimension, that stillness and that silence that exists within everyone. So it's a wonderful, beautiful week coming up for us. So I hope you found this reading helpful. And my name is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com. And thank you so much for joining me.